This is David Berlin, the ESL and Accent Reduction Tutor. Today, we're going to talk about how to tell the difference between when an American is being friendly in the way of an acquaintance and how to tell when they really want to be your friend as a close friend. So essentially, some of my students have asked me, how to tell when Americans really want to be close, and how to tell if we're just acquaintances, and how to know if the people I work with, are they real friends, or are they just acquaintances, or what are they? So let me give you first a little background. First of all, Americans tend to smile at everybody, even just acquaintances. We tend to be very pleasant with everybody. We tend to be very polite to everybody. We tend to be nice. That's because we tend to assume that people in the world, or in America at least, are not out to harm us. We tend to view strangers as sort of friends that we don't know yet. You see, we don't assume that people are enemies or not friends until we have a reason to assume that. Again, it really depends on where in America you go, but in general, that's how Americans think. We tend to think of people that we meet as not out to harm us. We tend to think of them as friendly, and we tend to act friendly towards them. And we smile, and we're polite, and we make conversation with total strangers, and things like that. And again, it really depends on where in America you are, but in general, that's the case. So, because of that, people who are not from America originally, who are new here, often don't understand that just because somebody's smiling and being friendly and being nice, in American culture, that doesn't make them a close, intimate friend. We're that way culturally with everybody. So how can you tell if an American wants to really be your friend? Well, here's a couple of tips, okay? First of all, if you're working with somebody and you're talking about, for instance, building an addition onto your home, or having your lawn mowed, or issues of home upkeep, or what have you, and they offer to lend you a tool that they own, or a machine like a lawnmower or something like that, and they offer to lend it to you, that's an indication that they want to be friends, or that they want the relationship to grow a little closer, right? That they want to be a little bit more than just your acquaintance. Two, they will invite you to lunch when they're working with you. So for instance, you'll get an invite. They'll say, hey, me and Joe are going over to the steakhouse for lunch. Do you want to come with us? We're actually talking about this, whatever it was, baseball. And I know you just saw your first baseball game. And I thought that you might have some interesting ideas about it, right? And if they say things like that to you, it's an indicator that they want to be a little bit closer. Okay, so that's two things. The third indication that I can give you, and this is again sports related, if they invite you to a sports event, right? Especially if they invite you with your children, right? They say, hey, I've got season tickets to see the Yankees, or hey, I've got tickets to see the Jets, and my friend can't go, and I was wondering if you wanted to go. I know your son really wanted to see an American-style football game, right? And they invite you. That's an indication that they want to be a little bit closer friends. Or to a movie, for instance. They say, hey, I know we were talking about Star Wars the other day, and you were telling us about it, how it came out in India, or how it came out in Russia, or what have you, and I thought you might like to see Star Wars The Force Awakens, We're going next weekend, with a couple of friends and our children. Why don't you come with us? Would you like to come with us? And that kind of an invite is it's an indicator that they want to be they want to make the friendship closer, okay? Another big tip is if they invite you to dinner at their home, right? That's a very, very strong indicator that they want to be closer friends, right, than just acquaintances. Acquaintances are people who we know, but they're kind of not in our close inner circle, right? We are acquaintances with very, very many people oftentimes in America. A person will have many, many acquaintances and only a few close friends. But, well, we tend to have maybe a few close friends, but we tend to act on the surface the same way we do with our friends. We act on the surface with our acquaintances. But if you go deeper, you'll see that the interactions are different. And I've just described some of the ways they're different. So for instance, if they invite you to a sports game, or if they invite you to lunch, or if they offer to lend you a tool or a machine like a lawnmower, or if they invite you to their home for dinner or lunch or what have you, those are 4 signs that you can use that will indicate that somebody wants a closer friendship with you than just an acquaintance, to have you be an acquaintance. And it's hard to tell, I know, because we smile and we're friendly and pleasant and polite with pretty much everybody. I mean, in America, it's really not that uncommon for a lot of people. If you're particularly social, a lot of people just start conversations with strangers. I mean, we tend to do that in America, so, you know, it can be really hard to tell, you know, if you're not from here and you don't understand, you know, why we do that. It can be hard to tell, does this person want a friendship with me, or, you know, are they talking to me on the train and they'll never see me again? So I'm trying to help you demystify that a little bit. Okay? Alright. My name is David Berlin. I am your friendly neighborhood ESL and accent reduction tutor. You can call me to talk about ESL and accent reduction lessons at 732-807-5424, or you can check out my American Idiom of the Day Twitter feed at www.twitter.com/DavidBerlinESL, or check out my blog at davidberlinesl.blogspot.com, or you can call me on Skype if that's easier for you. If you're international, you're not in the US, and you want to talk to me and you're on Skype and you want lessons, you can call me on Skype at david.berlin.esl is my Skype identity. Okay? Alright, everybody, take care. This is David Berlin, your friendly neighborhood ESL and accent reduction tutor, signing off. Goodbye.